My husband, much to my regret, has changed for the worse over the years of our married life. I am completely sure that this happened because of his parents, who did not like me from the first sight. I saw their biased attitude towards me. I came from a not wealthy family, or rather, a poor one, while my husband's parents were from high society. His mother was a cardiosurgeon, and his father was a lawyer. We met by chance. One day I was walking down the street and saw two guys beating up a skinny boy. That was John. Seeing this, I started shouting, and they got scared and ran away. I came to his aid, gave him a handkerchief, and called a taxi since his mobile phone had been taken from him. The next day, as a token of gratitude, he invited me to a fancy restaurant. I won't lie and say it was love at first sight. John was a shy, skinny guy, and nothing about him attracted me except one thing: he was clearly intelligent. All my ex-boyfriends were dumb, healthy lads. They couldn't do anything. They had only one advantage: they were all good in bed. I noticed that John fell in love with me. I was his first. Soon he introduced me to his parents and proposed. I didn't hesitate for long and agreed. I perfectly understood that such an opportunity comes once in a lifetime. If it weren't for John, I would probably have gotten pregnant by some Bill the mechanic. If this Bill had deigned to marry me, we would have lived on a small salary, and every day he would have sat at home, drank beer in the evenings, and watched football. Despite advising their son against a relationship with me, John's parents bought us a house in an expensive area and a nice car right after the wedding. A year later, I gave birth to a son. John started earning well and opened his own law firm. One day, he had a row with me over some trivial reason. After a small event that took place in our luxurious house, the next morning he started shouting at me. All because I kissed his manager on the balcony. I admit that yes, it happened exactly like that. The champagne got the better of me, and I lost control. And even though I was wrong, why start a scandal right away? We could have just discussed the problem and talked calmly. But he started shouting at me. A week passed, and we made up. Everything settled down, and life went on. But our family relations were intervened by this old witch, his mother. She somehow found out what happened. At first, she began to turn John against me, and then she even suggested doing a DNA test on our child. I said no problem, I have nothing to hide. A week later, John brought the DNA results and opened the package. I was the first to look at the results. For me, it was just a blow. John was not the father of the child. I hastily began to remember who could be the father. I can only remember the guy who was at my bachelorette party. I don't remember his name. I don't know where he is now. All that remained of him was the child and a photograph. Despite all my arguments and pleas, John filed for divorce. This scoundrel wanted to divorce me just because he was not the father of the child. I told him, John, if you didn't know he wasn't your son, would you stop loving him? But John said, enough, we're getting divorced. As a skilled lawyer, he wanted to leave me without money and alimony. Yes, I didn't work in the marriage, but that doesn't mean anything. The case was coming to an end, and then I found out I was pregnant. I told John, and he stopped the divorce proceedings. I hope John didn't make a mistake this time, and the child is his. If not, then I'll have to go work in cleaning, as I don't know how to do anything else. Stay tuned for the continuation of the story.